It's your boy Soldier Boy. I want to congratulate Antonio Bryce and Cannon White on passing 50,000 in sales for their comic book series brand Indigo. You already know what it is, man. Indiegogo, that's lit. Bow.
Shout out to young Draco, Soldier Boy, for showing us a little love there. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Antonio from Ikari Press. We're on the Indiegogo, $60,909. Santana Baby Triple Cover Pack is, of course, still ongoing. If you want it, head on over to Indiegogo or just type in IkariPress.com. It'll take you right there. Link, of course, is in the description. All right, so I picked this up off of CBR. Todd McFarlane reveals the secret behind the creation of Venom. Comic book artist and Venom co-creator Todd McFarlane shared a video today in which he detailed how the idea for the now iconic character was brought about by his personal resentment for Spider-Man's iconic black costume. McFarlane's disdain for Spider-Man's black costume is fairly well known. He has been vocal about preferring the character's classic red and blue look. However, the story he tells on Instagram makes it clear just how badly he wanted Peter Parker to ditch the outfit. In the process of getting what he wanted, he also created Venom, the new character who would inherit the black costume look shortly after he began drawing his run on Amazing Spider-Man. All right, now McFarlane posted this up on his Instagram the other day. So I've got the clip, so I'm gonna throw it to Mr. McFarlane in his very animated style. Take it away, Todd.
So how does this page become the creation of Venom? That's easy. I came into the Spider-Man office after doing the Hulk, and they wanted me to do Spider-Man, but he was in this black costume. I didn't want to draw this black costume. It meant nothing to me. I wanted to draw the red and blue. So they said, Todd, if you just come on in 298, we promise that maybe we can get rid of it. And I go, well, let's just get rid of it fast. So I did a character. I ripped the costume off him. I did this character called Venom, handed it to David Michelinie, the writer. And they said, just hold on. So then all of a sudden, I do 298. No, he's still in the black. 299. He's still in the black. Finally, 300. Look at, I even sitting here on the cover sketch. And I say, can we do one in the black and the red? Come on, I want to do the black and the red. And they said, yeah, fine. So essentially, 300 is the origin of Venom, but to me, it's how the hell do we get this goddamn black costume off Peter Parker issue?
All right, so you just heard that clip. Todd says that he was trying to get Spider-Man back in his red and blue costume, and so he kind of came up with this idea, sketched Venom, passed it off to David. Okay, well, let's get a different perspective. All right, this was from last year on David Michelinie's page, and I believe it was after Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and he was a little annoyed that he kept being called the co-creator of Scott Lang Ant-Man, because I think there's like 3 people credited as because like they gave John Byrne like some design credit, and then well, let's get into it. David says, I usually try to avoid controversy both on this page and in my life, but escalating events, most recently in the article at Comic Book Resources titled Who Really Created Scott Lang, forced me to weigh in on the topic of character creation and comic books. All right, and he's kind of going in, let me see, about some of his past, collaborations. Let's see. All right, let me see here. Let it be known that I am a great believer in giving credit where credit is due, and I readily admit to having co-created quite a few characters in the past 40 years. All of the characters introduced while Bob Layton and I were co-plotting Iron Man, Jim Rhodes, Justin Hammer, The Ghost, etc. were co-creations because we worked out the stories that introduced those characters together. Same with characters Shira Bree and others that were introduced while Walter Simonson and I worked on Marvel's Star Wars series because, again, we shared input on those plots. However, there are other characters that I came up with entirely on my own, sitting at the desk in my office with no input from anyone else on the planet. Characters that I put into plots along with their names, backgrounds, motivations, personalities, and frequently visual descriptions and even bits of speech patterns. Those plots were sent to editors who, after approval, then sent them along to other individuals in the creative chain. But if I say I, quote, created such characters like Venom, Carnage, Taskmaster, Scott Lang, and so many more, someone will come back with, but what about such and such? He, she created them too. And according to some definitions, that's true. So, dot, dot, dot. Um, but then he just closed it out. And one of the main reasons I found this particular post on his Facebook to be so interesting is because I often argue with people about Deadpool's creation, because as much as I like Fabian Nicienza's writing, he has said in an interview that when he came on, because Rob Liefeld was already on New Mutants when Fabian came on, they were getting ready to switch over everything into X-Force, because I know one of the editors, Rob Liefeld, actually showed this about a year ago. He had like a telegram from, I guess, one of the editors on the Mutant books, and it was like, hey, you know, even though the sales are coming up on the New Mutants, it's not selling, and we need to rebrand it as an X book. But I know Louise Simonson was writing New Mutants when Rob took over, and as he was going, you know, she was about to get off the book, and Rob was like, hey, I actually want to have some input in the story and stuff. So they had agreed that Rob was going to get to be a plotter. He would, you know, he would have creative input into the stories, you know, because he was getting a little antsy, and obviously he ended up just leaving and going to Image with Todd McFarlane anyway. But when Fabian came in to meet with Rob, Fabian said that Rob had a sketchbook where he'd started coming up with ideas on stories that he wanted to do. And Fabian said that Rob opened his sketchbook up and there was this character already created, and Rob pointed to him and said, this is Deadpool. So Fabian said that Rob not only had already created Deadpool, but had already given him the name Deadpool. Fabian said that, not Rob. So, you know, I've argued with people. It's like, nah, Rob created Deadpool all by himself. He created him. He designed the costume, and he had already given him the name. Now, what Fabian did was kind of start trying to give him those personality quirks, and he also was the one that came up with the Merc with the mouth catchphrase, which obviously Marvel uses that to market Deadpool all the time. You know, 20, almost 30 years later, they still use Merc with the mouth. So that's a big part of Deadpool. So I'm not knocking Fabian, but Rob had already created the costume, and he had already came up with the name. So I would give Rob at least 2/3 of Deadpool creation, if not 80%, 90%, because Fabian admitted that Rob already had the character created and had already came up with the name. So that sounds like he created it. Now, Rob's not a good writer, so he needs someone to be able to write. So I will, you know, obviously Fabian can write. I enjoyed his New Mutant stuff, and, you know, and other projects he worked on. So, but you basically see here that David Michelinie is saying that, you know, hey, I created Venom by myself, but let's these two are cool though. I did not know that they had never met each other though. But here we see, this is on Todd's Instagram. This is from August of last year, and he says Venom creators together for first time ever. It's true. Only took 30 years to get all three Venom creators in the same place. This was a recent convention in Phoenix where Jim Salicrup on the right, who was the editor, told me we all had worked together but had never physically been in the same place at once. On the left is writer David Michelinie. All right, so there you go. They don't seem to be beefing with each other, but they don't quite agree on how Venom was created. But you know, I definitely like this picture here, and I'm a big fan of David Michelinie. You know, as well as the Todd father. Got to show love to the Todd father. But they met, what was this, August the 19th of 2018. And then, let me pull this up, magic of television. Hopefully this works. Boom. You see Todd McFarlane, David Michelinie, and who did I just mention? Rob Liefeld right there. This is the Venom premiere. And so this happened in, what, October the 14th is when this was posted on Todd's Instagram. And, you know, there they are, still smiling. Everybody's cool. So I'm not saying there's a beef, but they both seem to slightly disagree on how Venom came to fruition. Because David's been saying, you know, hey, I'd already kind of had this idea for this character. And Todd saying, no, they wanted to keep the black suit. And I told him when I was coming off Incredible Hulk, if you want me to draw Spider-Man, I want to draw the red and blue. And that, I guess, Jim Salicrup was like, yo, just hang in there with us. We'll get rid of the suit, and then you can start drawing Spider-Man in the classic red and blue. And if you remember, Todd actually was a big fan of Steve Ditko's Spider-Man. They had taken the webbing out from underneath Spider-Man's arms, and when Todd started drawing the red and blue costume again, he started putting the webbing back on, which, you know, I'm pretty sure is back permanently now. I don't know. Some artists may not like the webbing, but I always loved that look with the webbing underneath the arms and everything. It was cool. But I just want to know what you guys think. So you know, hit the comments, speak up on it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel. Everywhere is at Ikari Press. And if you type in IkariPress.com, it will take you directly to my Indiegogo campaign for my comic book series brand with the phenomenal Kanan White. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon.com. The links to those are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.